As for the welterweight championship of the IBF, Jeff Passero, a stalking horse for Larry Barnes. It should be an interesting bout as we move closer to our main event. Larry Barnes, 37-1, 14 knockouts. Jeff Passero, 29-1, 10 knockouts. Tail of the tape, Passero is 35, Barnes 29. Passero decided height advantage. You'll see in Larry Barnes kind of a mini Tyson effect. He's real squat, but he gets inside and works the body well. Reach advantage to Jeff Passero. This bout will be under the New Jersey rules, 10-point must system with 3 judges at ringside scoring it. The 3 knockdown rule is in effect. There is a standing 8 count in this bout. A boxer cannot be saved by the bell in any round, and only the referee can stop the fight. If the fight is stopped because of an accidental butt, they'll go to the scorecards after 5 rounds. Let's go back to ringside. Al Bernstein and Dave Pontempo.
Thanks a lot, Sam. That is Larry Barnes you are looking at. His record brought to you by Ring Magazine, the Bible of boxing. And you look at not only his record, but his winning percentage and also knockout percentage. 37%, even though he's a fighter that comes ahead and tries to get you out of there. Not an overwhelming puncher. That is Jeff Passero. His record, of course, 29-1, and his knockout percentage a little below that. Also his winning percentage a little bit below. Well, a man that is always a cut above, in the center of the ring, Michael Buffer.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, before we continue with our next bout, a few weeks ago, a member of the boxing fraternity passed away. He was well known to all the commissioners around the country as one of the finest boxing commissioners in the land today. He passed away at the age of 76, and to honor his memory tonight, we would like to toll a memorial count of 10 and ask everyone to please rise and remain silent for this memorial count for the former commissioner from the Keystone State of Pennsylvania, Mr. Howard McCall. May his soul rest in peace. Ladies and gentlemen, it's tradition in the boxing fraternity in the world. Let's give him a round of applause with a big send out. Howard McCall. And now, ladies and gentlemen, a special 10-round bout. This is in the welterweight division. When the bell rings, the man in charge of the action, referee Benji Estevez. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the black trimmed with gold and weighing in at 146 pounds. From Crofton, Maryland, he brings a record of 20 victories with 10 KOs against 8 defeats. Ladies and gentlemen, he is the punishing Paisan, Jeff Passero. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the solid black trunks and weighing 146 1/2 pounds. His record an outstanding 137-1, 14 KOs. Ladies and gentlemen, the pride and joy of Mount Vernon, New York, Larry Noki Barnes.
I've already given you pre-bout instructions. Obey my commands. And good luck to both of you. Touch up and good luck to both of you. Let's go.
There are the judges, Frank Brunette, Lynn Carter, and Eugene Grant, all from the state of New Jersey. And we almost had some fisticuffs there in the at the instructions from Benji Estevez. Jeff Passero looked like he wanted to get to Larry Barnes, but there's never a problem finding Larry Barnes, Dave. He's always right in front of you.
Right in front, and looks like he wants to throw that left hook at all times.
We see a mirror image of the last fight with a taller fighter against a shorter fighter. And Passero will try and employ many of the tactics Derek Gainer did, though certainly he's not as quick as Derek Gainer, and he's not a southpaw, but he'll try and throw uppercuts and get Barnes as he comes in.
And we'll get a look at what happens when the taller fighter doesn't have that speed, how that can help out the shorter guy.
Very good point. There is the uppercut. Good body shot already hurt Passero, I think. He's breathing hard from that one. Boy, he was nailed by Barnes, and Barnes is a very good body puncher. I have to say, I love that nickname of Jeff Passero, the punishing Paisan.
And a contrast in terms, if that means friend.
It's true.
Let him go, let him go.
I guess the Italian Stallion had a trademark on it, and they couldn't take that.
Yeah, that one would not work, no.
Well, that's a leaping left hook. Barnes is coming out with him again here.
Landed a good one to the body. Larry Barnes is #1, as Sam said, and waiting a fight with Felix Trinidad, the WBC welterweight title holder. And that's a good style matchup because Trinidad is kind of a taller fighter and Barnes the kind of guy that wants to sneak in on the inside.
One thing Barnes is not showing is the ability to really look past opponents, which has happened to guys in this situation. One fight removed from a title picture has been a bugaboo many times before, and he wants to come out here and get this over with. That's a good way to go after this fight.
Barnes throwing a jab. He has not jabbed his way in much. Minute left to go in round 1. It's scheduled for 10. Big hook by Larry Barnes. Well, you said he wants to throw it all the time. He does, and that one got in there.
And it looks like Larry Barnes will be able to land that hook just about whenever he wants.
That one just missed. One landed to the body, and then he tried one to the head. Barnes at 29 has worked his way up the ranks, has had some close fights, one with Harold Brazier in New York that a lot of people thought he lost, but of course Brazier at that time especially a very fine fighter. He's had a lot of good close wins over tough guys. Passero with a look on his face already like these body shots are having an impact. The seconds remaining here in round 1, and Larry Barnes just continues the assault. I've done overall, I don't know, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of boxing matches over the last 15 years. You've done hundreds and hundreds of boxing matches. Have you ever seen that before?
Not only that, I've never seen that. I thought they were going to go into some kind of a ritual and maybe dance and chant around them when they put that mask on.
It looked like perhaps something in the genre of a kabuki dance. In any case, I'd love to find out. I've never seen them do that, and I've never seen it done, period. We're going to find out what that mask is all about.
Here's Barnes getting down low again and trying to get the big hook off. Bobbing and weaving. He's been a little short with the right hand, but he keeps trying it and then goes back to that hook.
There's Barnes throwing the left hook on the inside to the body. Larry Barnes, the shorter of the two fighters. He's on your left. Jeff Passero, the tall man in the black trunks with the gold stripe. And now the Barnes left hook seems like it's getting the bead.
He's been throwing it. Surprising in one sense that it is getting in so much because he's throwing it from a long distance. It's not concealed very well. You know what he wants to throw. He's still able to do it. He throws a wide one there. Passero just cannot keep him off.
Isn't that the time to jab your way in and then get in position to throw that left hook?
The idea that when you throw the hook from a long distance, you usually pay via the counter, and Barnes hasn't paid.
We're in round 2. It is scheduled for 10 here at the Atlantic City Convention Center, where later on Vinny Pazienza will go after the super middleweight championship of Roy Jones Jr.
It's a hard thing to do to stop a punch in midstream for a little while, but it would be good for Barnes if he could show the hook as sort of a decoy and pound a good right hand behind that.
There's the wild hook that you talked about, Dave, and it's really not getting there as often as it might.
Had he been a little closer when he threw that left hook, Passero might have been on the floor.
Even though Larry Barnes doesn't jab that much, for him even, this is a bout in which there have been really very few jabs.
And the style of the fight setting up, he doesn't really fear what Passero can do, so he'll just get inside and start the fight from there.
That was a roundhouse left hook, trust me. Jeff Passero has not done much of an offensive nature, and so Barnes is able to just walk in. A lot of holding on the inside. Good body work by Larry Barnes. He's ripping out of that body. Tough round for Jeff Passero.
What's wrong? Huh? Put your hands there. What's wrong? Huh? I don't hear nothing. Let's get them punches off, man. Come on, Jeff. You beat the ball, right? Because you waiting on him. Don't wait on him. Hit and move.
Concentrate on his style and on the LB's inside with both hands. Okay? Step in with your style. Don't be short. It takes 2 steps, you take it. Okay? You're doing good. You're going to stop this guy. Concentrate. Don't relax. Okay? When he's down there, LB, with both hands. Okay? Don't relax. A little bit more action. Okay? You're looking good, baby.
Well, Barnes has an edge there. Could be bigger, but he's been doing it 1 punch at a time.
I just had a thought. I think that maybe that mask might be some kind of end swell that might be totally made out of iron. Maybe it's, you know, end swell is what they put on the eyes when there's a swelling. Maybe that's designed to prevent swelling. I'm just taking a wild guess.
It looked the way they put it in there the second round without the fanfare that it may have indeed a practical purpose.
Some medicinal purpose, perhaps. We are headed into round 3. It is scheduled for 10. Larry Barnes and Jeff Passero. Or it could be something from Mary Kay, designed to help blemishes, or
you want to look good.
Women use masks all the time of a different kind. I don't know. I'm just taking a wild guess here. You know what? Most of our audience is not familiar with Mary Kay. I'm just guessing. We have a predominantly male audience that is not familiar with Mary Kay and the cosmetic products that they use.
But we'll go with the practical purpose idea on that mask. There's probably something very strong to it.
Good, good. We'll accept that. Under 2 minutes left to go here in round 3.
Barnes is getting close in here, trying to launch the hook. And Sam made that Tyson reference, and there's a little bit of Tyson Patterson peekaboo type for just a little bit.
Good body shot by Larry Barnes. Passero trying to counter him on the way in, but not quite getting the job done. A lot of holding on the inside. Benji Estevez watching closely.
Barnes actually has more opportunity here to rip double left hooks than he's doing. He's winding up for big shots. Even in close, he could be doubling up because it's been there for him.
And in fact, you know, he's fighting a fighter who physically resembles Felix Trinidad, even though Trinidad isn't quite that tall. He's going to have to be more precise in the way he approaches Trinidad.
And he will pay quite more severely for these missed hooks if he faces Trinidad.
Boy, will he ever. Trinidad has a superb counter right hand. Now I think Passero is starting to really be worn down by these body shots. Barnes just looking to rip those hooks, not throwing too many right hands these days. There's one.
Sometimes a certain mode just takes over, and this becomes the left hook festival.
Passero shakes his head. No, didn't hurt me, but he's getting, his hands are at his side. Barnes needs to give himself some punching room now. He's ripping the body of Passero, and Passero just shakes his head and opens his eyes like nothing happened to him. Wow, something happened to him. Getting ready to come out here for round 4. He has had his way over the first 2 rounds with Jeff Passero. Passero, the 35-year-old veteran who came in here with a 29-1 record. Barnes, 37-1 with 14 KOs. Larry Barnes, the 29-year-old who is on the precipice of a world title shot against Felix Trinidad.
It's a little surprising between rounds that Passero's corner really did not take him to task for his own version of the rope-a-dope at the end of that round. And in that round, Barnes 21-4 advantage in shots landed. And of those 21, they were big shots, many.
And significantly, Passero only threw 17 punches in that last round. Barnes slipping those shots as Passero gets a little busier all of a sudden.
And when Passero moves a little bit and just shows the jab, all of a sudden, Barnes has to work more to get that left hook near him and go over the top with it, which can make him miss. All of a sudden, that hook has to travel a great distance.
Barnes having a hard time cutting off the ring here. We saw in our first fight how difficult it was for Harold Warren to cut off the ring against Derek Gainer, who, by the way, if you joined us late, Gainer won the NABF Featherweight Championship by beating Harold Warren. So if you bought the fight, but you tuned in a little late, and you're just now settling down with your beers and your chips and Coke and maybe a little pizza. I'm making myself hungry by talking about this, you know.
There is an intermission here for us, isn't there?
Good. We may get a snack later.
And you still have a couple hours to go if you just tuned in.
That's right. So you can have a lot more snacks before the Pacienza-Jones fight comes along. Got another fight after this one. Before that, Al Ice Cold, the IBF Cruiserweight champion, against Uriah Grant in a rematch of what was a very exciting fight that they held the first time.
Passero showing some purpose here in round 4 with a little bit more intensity. Looks like he's trying to at least put some shots together. He's not allowing Barnes the free access he did earlier.
There's the double left hooks, Dave. That's what you talked about a little earlier. You said Barnes should throw them more, and by golly, he did. And the body work, it seems to me, which Barnes is doing very well, will be the thing, if anything, that ends this fight early.
And if it does, it will be sudden. We saw a hint of that last round when the arms of Passero came down.
You're seeing a little bit why now that Barnes doesn't have a huge knockout percentage, only 37%. And the reason for that is he's just not a huge puncher. He puts punches together well, and he's got some pop in his punch, but he's not a huge puncher. That does it for round 4.
Okay, we'll stop this guy.
Well, they want Larry Barnes to stop this guy. And not surprising they would with a world title match coming up as we head into round 5.
And not only that, they don't want him to be showing some bad habits in this fight, slowing down at the end of rounds as he did last time, a lot of holding and tying up. Not only do you not want to lose, but a cut could happen, a headbutt, anything that could drive a fight further away.
There was a nice jab as Barnes came in, a punch that has been underused by him. He's really starting to rip shots to the body now of Jeff Passero. John Saraceno is in the corner of Larry Barnes. John, what's the story with that mask?
Al, we've seen a lot of crazy contraptions in boxing. I'm here with Rudy Dragone, the inventor of the infamous mask. Rudy, exactly what is this thing?
Basically, I went with the same type of material that's made. It's nickel. What it is an exact copy of Larry's face. So when we apply it, we're applying pressure to every single part of his face. Anything that's swollen will come down. Any tissue that hasn't been touched at all will reduce some of the interstitial fluid to be able to facilitate some of the swelling to move into there. What the result is, the mask works. What the result is that the mask brings down any type of swelling.
There you go, Al.
Excellent. Well, thanks, John. There goes Passero, knocked down by Larry Barnes. This one might end this fight. I think it will. Yes, Passero is down and out, and Larry Barnes, thespian that he is, takes a bow. Tough outing there for Jeff Passero. So right after Sal Dragone explains to us the mask, which has kept Larry Barnes from swelling, Larry Barnes gets the job done, so they don't have to worry about such a thing.
And they can now set it up for the Trinidad fight. A good fast start in this bout by Barnes. He came out, had only one lull in there, and the corner said between the last rounds, go out and end this thing. He took it to heart and came out exploding.
Let's take a look at it. Larry Barnes really getting the job done.
Here's the Barnes Express. He's been able to walk through Passero most of the night. Huge right hand. A little bit of a nudge. After effect. He got everything there. The punch and the push.
I think his head's hit too.
Let's see. Shot to the body.
Shot hurt him.
Body shot hurt him. Crumpled around there. And as Barnes is going, a little escort. But the shot got him. And one tremendous shot. He's been loading up for a big punch all night. and this time it got in. We talked about how the body shots might end the fight suddenly, and it did.
So the body work of Larry Barnes pays dividend, and Larry Barnes does in fact get the win he needs to get to his world title shot. Michael Buffer is in the center of the ring. Let's go to him now.
Ladies and gentlemen, the end comes as referee Benji Estevez reaches the count of 10. The official time, 1 minute, 34 seconds of round number 5. The winner by knockout victory, the #1 ranked welterweight in the world, Larry "No Fear" Barnes.
So Larry Barnes notches his 38th win as a professional. He's got a good left hook. He's got good body work. He's got the mask. Look out, Felix Trinidad.
I mean, if he has the good execution in that fight, look out. But for tonight, he's very happy with that. Hey, good call on that mask.
Well,
Detective Bernstein.
I had my 2 choices, and I went with the N-Swell thing, and it was good. Very interesting, by the way, that Sal Dragone came up with that. That's the kind of thing that could be innovative in boxing.
Yeah, you really could see that. Get the pressure on the entire face at the same
There
time.
it is, see?
Go after some areas before they become problems.
That's it.
Nice walkway champion now. There he is.
I tell you what, that may be the, except the winner of the Pazienza-Jones fight, that could be the big story tonight. Let me ask.
15 knockouts, defends against Uriah.